Okay, hello. I see Shelby and Amy Rick, and I know some other people are going to be popping on. Can you guys hear me? Not if you, okay, good. Love it. Love the thumbs up. Okay, guys, I am so excited to be here with you. I am Carrie McGraw. I am a star director outside of Boston in Wellesley, Massachusetts, and I'm really excited to chat with you. I've been a stylist for over 7 years now. I cannot believe it. Love it so much. And literally still find myself in a situation where I need to constantly grow my who do you know list. So I'm really excited to be doing this call right now because it is September 1st, which makes me so happy. I love the beginning of every month, particularly right after summer, because it's a whole new, clean, fresh slate, which is fantastic. And it's our launch pad into the best selling season in the entire year. And yes, summer is a walk uphill for sure, both ways, basically. But, if we did our little bits, throughout, then we have people to connect with. But a lot of times people did take the summer off. And I know those of you who are on this call are dedicated to getting yourselves to star. So I want to do that too. So I think that some of these tips will be certainly helpful to you, but hopefully helpful for you to pass on to your downline too. So we can help encourage them to bring some people on and fill up their trunk show pipeline, increase that TQV, and get you guys to star. So let's shake the sand out of our ears. Let's just put the dirty laundry and the bathing suits in the laundry and just move on and get really excited. I have kids who finally just went into school and there's laundry all over the place and the dishes are dirty and whatever. But this is so much more fun to get out there and start reconnecting with people. And I can tell that our potential hostesses, our potential stylists, people are out there, customers, and they're getting excited to re-engage themselves too. So right now, let's get ourselves back in the groove and dust off the cobwebs and get ourselves going and just really go back over what is STAR. We know that we want to get there either at this month. Hopefully that's a goal for everyone who's in this East Coast Stars page and your teams. But then certainly moving on to October, November, December. I mean, every single month from September on is possible for you to hit it. So again, STAR is you and three people and you hitting 2,500. That's so doable, especially here in September. It's so doable. That could be 2.5 or 3 trunk shows in the month and, some extra online sales. That is really doable. So think about your downline, share it with them and say, let's do this. Let's give ourselves a pay raise this month in September. And let's go for that 2,500 in sales. That extra 5% commission can pay for gas money or, whatever the case may be, but it's definitely doable. So one of the other things that I've been doing to sort of refresh myself, because again, the kids have been out and it's been a little bit tricky, is I'm going through the virtual passes and I'm watching some of those videos that are particular to things that I need to fill the holes that are in my business right now. And I also love this page, the East Coast Stars page, because I've been going down through that and watching the videos from the other leaders that I wasn't able to watch live. So they're all on the thread. If you missed anything, there's so many phenomenal ones. Actually, every video that I've seen has been fantastic. So I'm really excited to be part of this group. And that will help motivate you too, because just hearing it from different voices, I think, is really good. So do those few things. One of the other things that I wanted to share with you is a teammate of mine, Joanne Sardini, who is also in this East Coast Stars page. She's on the First Impressions, which is the team that I lead out of Boston. And she gave me this idea, which probably many of you are already doing, but taking those great cards from the Hello Extraordinary deck and picking one out each day. And that's sort of her meditation for the day and have it be your mantra or whatever. And I love that. I think that's a great way to sort of start and focus. And the one that I pulled out today was this one. And it's all about ask the kid in you what you are capable of. So being that this is September 1st, I love that. Like think about when you were a child, when you were 5 years old and all the hope and the excitement and just fun and life was good. And think about what you would tell that little girl right now and what she could do. If you were there to parent her or mentor her or be her guardian, what would you tell her was possible? And think of the excitement and the belief she would have in her eyes. And hold that with you and picture you saying that to yourself at that age, and give yourself and your business the confidence and the belief that you can do it. Because even if your August wasn't exactly what you wanted it to be, or your teammates were, like, you can do this. We are going into this amazing season. And I want you to keep that card in mind even for mid-month. I love Missy's messy middle video in August. Same thing will happen every month that goes on. Like, we all start out strong. We want certain things to happen. Sometimes shows get postponed or moved, or sometimes we get more, whatever the case may be. If you get to that middle month, remember that little girl inside of you and make sure that you are giving her the belief that you can get through it, and one step at a time. Okay, so the race is on. Here we go, and let's do this together. Let's refresh our Who Do You Know list. I know it's just super, super key. And one of the things that I want to do to try to really dig down deep is, instead of doing the 2-2-4-2, I'm going to do the 4-4-4-2 or whatever. I think that's what it is. But I really want to double down and call a few more people. So that means I really got to get my Who Do You Know list going. After the 7 years, I do have a long list. I think one of the things that you should do is just keep this list going from the day that you started your business. And if you didn't really start it, you can get it going again. And whether you do it, make up a Who Do You Know list in a notebook, or whether you do it on an Excel spreadsheet, or whether you have a note section in Evernote or on your iPhone, do whatever system works for you, or do a couple of them if that's easier. But just keep that list going when you think of someone. I think, what we should do is, like Jessica talked about the other day on a call and Ali Santana was having this like brain dump of just sort of get away from your computer, get to an open, neutral space, and literally just start writing people down on this list. And think about all the potential people that you know. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be a potential hostess. Obviously, we want to think about those people. Potential hostess, potential stylist, who might be a potential customer, and also who would be a potential referral. Maybe someone is super busy and a million different things going on in the world, as we all do, but you really don't see that person being able to open up her world to Stella and Dot right now. But she might know a lot of people who would be able to do that, or would be able to connect to you. So think about those people. And if you talk about this, like everything we say with Stella and Dot is what you talk about will come about. So think about the holes in your business. Do you need to fill your trunk show pipeline? Do you need to sponsor more people? Do you need to do both of those things? Make a cognitive effort every single day to yourself to talk about it. It's the 2-2-4-2. Maybe it's just 2 calls a day, Monday through Friday. You ramp it up just casually on the weekends while you're chatting. However it is for you, just make sure that you let people know in a very casual way you're looking to build the team, or you're looking to get out there and style some people and give thousands of dollars worth of free product to give away this quarter in Q3 and in Q4. So what you talk about will happen, and it can be in sort of an indirect way. So think about all those different people. I think sometimes, like, I'll be taking a shower, I'm going on a run or whatever, and someone will pop into my mind, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have to write that down. So I actually have a list on my iPhone, because usually when I'm running, I've got either my music or whatever, and I will literally stop and write the person's name down on the note, because I just don't want to forget it. I remember reading an article one time where there was this businessman who did runs every single day, and he literally kept a pad of paper in his mailbox because he didn't want to carry anything, but he would brainstorm and think about all these great things when he got away from his desk. And then he came back, and before he went into the office, before he went to go change or shower, he did not want to forget these people or certain things that he needed to do. And he literally wrote it down on the pad of paper before he went back into the house or went into the office. And I think that's a great, so having something there with you at all times. So when you do remember that person, or you think about someone, or someone jogs your mind when you're having a conversation about someone else that you know who might be interested in either hostessing or being a stylist, make sure that you have it right there, so that when you do have your 15 minutes in the morning before you go off to work, or 15 minutes at lunch, or you do have your scheduled block out time throughout the week, when you make those calls, you're not having to hunt or rethink about these people. You've actually got your list right there and ready to go. It's really great to be super self-sufficient in that way, and efficient. And the other thing that I want to say about efficiency is have some templates going. I am like the queen of templates. And I love having them in my Gmail. I have different folders for different things. So I have hostess, coaching, I have prospecting for the stylist opportunity. I may have customer thank yous. I have all these different folders. So when I have time to reach out to my Who Do You Know list, write some customer thank you notes, whatever the case may be, give some hostess correspondence tips, I can just go in and grab that template, copy and paste it, tailor it to that particular person, and I'm good to go. Certainly I have booking templates in there for that particular season or quarter or launch that we're having come out. And I definitely have some updated videos and conversations and things like that, that the opportunity of the stylist that I like to keep handy as well. So I think one of the key things that we want to do with our Who Do You Know list is really write all these people down and maybe start, because you guys are wanting to get to star, start with a sponsoring conversation. I'm sure you've heard this before, but start with that conversation, because you can always back into being a hostess if for some reason that stylist conversation isn't happening, but always sort of have it on your shoulders. One thing that I always, it's so funny, I don't know where I came up with this, but I always thought about having a little Danielle, like a little mini Danielle on my shoulder, like kicking her legs back and forth, and I'm chatting with someone and she's sitting, you haven't mentioned stylist opportunity to her yet, whether it's for her or maybe her sister in Tennessee or a cousin in Oklahoma or whoever may be interested in the opportunity. I check in with myself and what I'm talking about is coming about. And if I'm not talking about the stylist opportunity, I'm probably not going to be sponsoring. If I'm not talking about, let's get your friends together for a fabulous style session, it probably isn't going to be happening. And I want to plant those seeds. By planting seeds in people's conversations, you're also adding to your Who Do You Know list, because someone may say, oh my gosh, my sister loves this stuff and she's never done a show. I'll bet she would totally do it for you. Boom, there's a conversation. If you're talking about it, it will come, and that's going to help you grow your Who Do You Know list as well. Another thing you can do besides just thinking about all these different people and having conversations is go through your contact list that you have right now and sort by maybe those who spent the most and start reaching out to them. Maybe that's your 2242. Maybe that's where you can go and just sort of start getting organized and reach out to those people. Maybe you filter by someone that you met recently. Maybe you look at your recent trunk shows and you go through those customer orders. And sometimes that helps me jog my mind of like, oh my gosh, that's right. I did have a conversation with this woman who might be interested in the opportunity or who really wanted to have a show on a weekend this coming fall. And make sure you write those notes down. Because I know sometimes when I'm at trunk shows, I'm not always writing notes down as much as I would love to. I used to be really great at it, and now I need to get back to it, because one of the things that I find tricky is Dottie. When I'm writing little notes in the notes section, I forget to go back and look at those notes. So for me, what's easier is to have, again, a little pad of paper with me at my trunk show, because I'm a paper and pen girl, and I can just quickly write something down after I've checked the gal out just to remind me. So that's why I'd really like to have sort of a central place where I keep my Who Do You Know list, so that when I do have my few minutes of time, I've got my list right there and I can go on. And I'm also making notes as left a voicemail with this person, or sent her a text, or sent her the link of our story and one of the latest video clips, so that when I go back to follow up, I can remember what I did. And I also think making the list and keeping it going is really important, because you can go back to it 6 months later. If someone says no to you, it's just no, not right now, whether it's the opportunity, the hostess, or whatever. But there have been plenty of times where I've gone back to people maybe 6 months later, maybe even a year later. And I've said, like, for example, I would go to the potential stylist option filter in our contact reports, and if I'm thinking I need to up the sponsoring, I might start there, and I pull up my contacts, I filter a potential stylist, boom, the list comes up. Then I can even filter it by most recent or particular trunk show or that sort of thing. And I'll sort of start to go down the list. And if it's someone that was 2 years ago even, you better believe that she's still on my list. And until she says, no, absolutely not, I never in my life ever want to be a stylist, she's going to still every once in a while get a call from me. Now, it may not be every week. It may not be every month. It may be once every few months, depending on the conversation that I have with her. But some of the words that I say with something like that is, listen, Susie, I hope you are great. You and I met back at Charlotte's Trunk Show last October, a year ago, basically. And I just wanted to reach out to you because I'm not sure if a window has opened up in your life at all, but I remember having a great conversation with you, and we are entering the best selling season of our entire year. And I just wanted to reach out and see if by any chance you might be interested in having a conversation and chatting about the stylist opportunity, because I've always thought you'd be great at it. And I thought, why not share with you in case you'd like to make lots of free or lots of cash this holiday season. You can basically pay for all of your holiday gifts. If you want to try it out, just try it out through the fall and see what she says. And just sort of, again, grab the pen, pencil, keep it in your mouth so you're not saying too much, but hear what she has to say. And the bottom line is you're offering her a compliment. So if she says no or it's not going to work out, that is a really lovely way to, give someone a compliment by calling them up. And if she can't do that, say, absolutely no problem. I completely understand. I know how busy life is. If having a little pop-up with your friends for 90 minutes to get together with your friends because you're so busy working all the time, that might be a great thing to do. What do you think about next Thursday inviting some of your friends over after work? Something like that. That's how you can sort of walk into the hostess opportunity if she says no to the stylist opportunity. And honestly, if you sprinkle these little conversations in every day and do your 2242 or double down and do 4 calls, things will start to bubble up. I promise you. It may be next week, it may be this week, but you will get responses. And also you're going to start to feel so much better because you're going to be speaking the words, and what you're saying is going to start to be more fluid. It's going to be exactly what you want to say. I tell my team all the time, push through 4 calls if you can, push through 5 if you can, because your words are going to start to be just more fluid and streamlined, and you're going to be happier with how the message comes out. I know when I'm making my calls, a lot of times I like to pick 1 hour a week and just make a ton of calls versus doing the 2242, because I feel like if I can get myself in the mind frame and get myself in the zone, the words come out better and I'm excited. But I don't go I don't do it longer than an hour for sure, because then I may start to go on monochromatic, tone of my words, which may not be great too. So think about another thing that I want you to do to think about your who do you know list to add to that, besides going into your contacts, is the home office recently came out with a new document right here. If you go to Stellaverse and you type in who do you know, you're going to get this great document. And I love it because it's just a reminder. Again, I highlighted them. Past hostesses, we know we can reach out to them for sure. I mean, anyone who had a show last fall, they for sure should be on your list. Knowing that when you're booking these shows, maybe you want to try to think strategically about booking a show with a past hostess, having 1 show a month be a past hostess, and all the other shows that you're going to book for the month should be new hostesses. That's what's going to help grow your business. But for sure, boost up your confidence and reach out to your past hostesses and book them in and say you're offering up, since they were a great hostess in the past, you'd love to give them their first dibs at whichever week or month or day would work for them to do a fall get together this season. So reach out to them and then move on to the new people, because with all the new trunk shows, you're going to have new opportunities to sponsor those hostesses, new opportunities to meet more people and to add to your who do you know list and your contact list in the lounge. So we've got your neighbors, spouses, coworkers, children's friends, and their the parents of your children's friends, high school and college friends all across the country. You can do these virtual trunk shows that are coming out more and more. I love Jessica's talk the other day. She really mentioned with those virtual shows how you want to make them quality. So if you're going to do a virtual trunk show, you want to be dressed up, looking great, and be prepared to do live group hellos, live styling through that half an hour. That's what's going to bring the orders in versus putting something on Facebook, sending out some invites and hoping that you get some orders. In all reality, that's not going to bring you a lot. And then you've got people across the country, again, those family, friends, high school, college, whoever. Think about them for the stylist opportunity. Make sure they're on your list and reach out to your friends who are super social. Just say, listen, we are looking to grow that area, and I think you would be so good at this. I'm not sure if something's open in your world, but you would be so phenomenal. Lindsay Walsh is my dear friend from college, and she did that to me out in, she's in San Francisco. I'm out in Boston, and she contacted me and she said, I really think you should do this. I asked a lot of questions. Long story short, 7 years ago, I signed up and here I am. And I absolutely love it. I'm so thankful that she brought that opportunity to me. We never had a conversation about this type of business before. And because she reached out and did it, I believed her and I thought, you know what? I know Lindsay. I know she's not going to throw me under the bus with some shady business. So I trusted her and I thought, okay, if she's doing it and she likes it, maybe I should try it. So I'm so thankful that she did that, because if I'd probably just gone to a show, I don't know if I would have probably signed up to be a stylist. I'm not sure. So think about your friends across the country, the people you go to the gym with, the people you love to have coffee with, and just know that they could be potential hostesses, stylists, customers, or referrals again. So you can read through this list, and I think printing it out and having it with you will help you come up with those people. Dentist office, salons, spas, boutiques, community events that you've done, community organizations that you're a part of. I think also sharing a conversation with your upline or maybe your pacing partner and sort of brainstorming more of who do you know list. They may come up with ideas. Oh my gosh, that's going to help you think of like, oh, I didn't even think about that person. That's right. I know in a lot of my coaching conversations with my downline and even my upline, when we're talking about it, she will say something that jogs my mind, or I'll say something to help my downline that they're thinking, oh my God, now, right after we talked about this, like I just thought of 5 more people that I had completely forgotten about. So verbalize what you want to do, have those conversations with people, and just get out there and do it. Let me see. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, I do think like I said, if you get into different spaces and you're in front of your computer, some of the list, you're out, you're showering, you're with friends, whatever, I do think some of those things will pop into your mind. And I talked about going through your contact list. So think about like, who needs money? Who do you know in your world who has mentioned like, gosh, I would love to make a little extra money. I want to take my family on a vacation. Or I'm dying to renovate my bathroom, or I'm so obsessed with those shoes. Like I've got to have, whoever. Think about all of those different people and offer it up to them. Whether it's, getting lots of fun free jewels just for hanging out with your friends for 90 minutes or a couple hours, or bringing in some cash and having a great time on your own pace, your own schedule throughout this holiday season. Who has young kids? Who's sort of ready that the kids have gone off to school and now they can open up their mind and they want to do something for themselves? Who is an empty nester whose kids have gone off to college and now they're thinking, shoot, I really need to do something to either fill my time or make a little money or enjoy a vacation with my spouse or my partner. Like, reach out to those people and offer them this great chance. Who's just left a job and maybe looking for something else? Who just wants to be, loving the style, and maybe who's a single mom, who's a past hostess who years ago you thought would be a phenomenal stylist. Make sure you're reaching out to them. The thing with the whole thing is that you really just want to be consistent and persistent with it. So maybe with your who do you know list, you try to think of 5 new people each day. Even if you don't have time to call them, write them down. So when you do have time to call some people, you're ready to go. So those are a few ideas that I have that I just keep adding. Again, put the dates down when you're connecting with people, because literally years later, you might be able to go back to them. They're brand new. Someone's maybe having a baby or pregnant right now and she's not ready to start a new business. No problem. Like, reach out to her next year or in 6 months and sort of see if she's come out of it a little bit and she's ready to do something, but doesn't want to go back and work full time. So those are just some ideas on how to sort of get that list growing, get it started, refresh it. There are plenty of times over these 7 years that I have not, I've run out of time or I've run out of people to connect, and I just need to refresh it myself too. So those are some ideas. I'd love to open it up for conversations and hear what you guys have to say, to either share or obstacles or questions you're wondering, if anyone has any. Anyone there? I know I see some of you guys on mute. No worries. All right, guys. Well, those are some of the tips. I'm happy to help, and I'm excited for you. So I'm going to be going rah, you've got this, and excited to see all the great promotions that come through at the end of this month. And a whopping congratulations to those of you who did promote this month. Way to go. This fall is going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see everyone thrive. Take care.